Munchkin Panic by Fireside Games, where everyone works together until their backs are turned. Hi, I'm Spencer with NerdyRaptor, here sitting down with Anne-Marie and Justin, the creators of Munchkin Panic, a new game coming out from Fireside pretty soon, but we're here at GenCon, we can get to see it now, see it in action. And it's kind of a unique new game to see because it's a mashup of the Munchkin characters and the Munchkin ridiculousness and then the Castle Panic gameplay. So what is the experience of Munchkin Panic?
Well, it's basically a really kind of backstabby, panicky grab for the most monsters slain and most trophy points.
Yeah.
So lots of card comboing. That's one of the nice things that I noticed that Munchkin players really enjoy doing is all those card combos. And then Castle Panic allows some of that and more of it with the Wizard's Tower. But with Munchkin Panic, we really wanted to amp that up by adding the treasure cards.
So in Castle Panic, we're trying to work together to defend ourselves. But in this Munchkin Panic, we want to defend ourselves, but we want to do it best.
Exactly.
And so a couple of games might come up that, you know, I'm willing to let this side fall so that I can get this extra little bit.
Exactly.
So was it difficult to try to get the Munchkin characters and the Munchkin feel into the Castle Panic?
It wasn't for me. I kind of immediately saw Phil Reed from Steve Jackson Games came to us with the idea of combining the worlds, and when we were talking, I just kind of immediately saw how it could work out. And it's really just taking the Master Slayer version of Castle Panic and amping it up and creating a lot more tension on, you know, the selfish side of that equation, and, you know, trying to use all of the tools at my disposal that are offered by Munchkin to do that. So.
Odd in a cooperative game, are there a lot of tools where I can really ruin somebody else's turn?
Yes. And we have a mini expansion. And initially I wanted to have just as much Munchkin feel as possible. But when we played it with Castle Panic players, there was some uneasiness with a lot of the backstabbing. So we're like, okay, I need to ease these Castle Panic players into backstabbing. So we have the base version where you have 4 curse cards, and that's basically the amount of backstabbing you have. You have negotiation where you're trying to get something more out of the deal instead of just trading. Okay. The game comes with the More Munchkin mini expansion, and that has monster enhancers, which actually allow you to actively get on the side of the monsters and beef them up so that they can
smash them into that other side of the castle while you're over here.
Exactly. And keep another player from actually slaying a monster and taking that trophy for yourself, or at least keeping them from getting the trophy. And with that expansion, you no longer have to protect the castle towers. It's all about who has the highest point count.
That's awesome.
So you take that other side of it out of the equation.
I've got a lot of friends that really love cooperative games. Some of them aren't super competitive, and some of them are competitive, but only after the cards get dealt out.
Nice.
And right before we started up, I heard a little girl cackling. And I didn't get to go over and see, but you can really see as the monsters progress, looking through some of the cards, how somebody can just allow everything to just pile up and ruin somebody else's turn.
Yes.
And that's a great spin on the cooperative gameplay.
Yep.
It's fun to see.
Yes, stealing treasure from your friends is good. It builds camaraderie.
I know out we have the undead horse. Do we have are pretty much most of the big characters that we all remember from Munchkin showing up?
Yes, most of those characters. And of course, the gazebo.
Yep. The
gazebo.
Yeah, and you can't have any help when you fight the gazebo.
You must fight the gazebo alone. It's true.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Plutonium dragons in there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the only kind of edit we made to Munchkin is the Steve Jackson Games brand allows things to be a little more risque. The Fireside Games brand is a little cleaner,
a little more family friendly. Yeah.
And so we kind of took some of the drug jokes and some of the sex jokes.
Right.
We took those out of the game.
So the innuendo you have to include the innuendo yourself. It doesn't come in the box.
That's right. Yeah.
Bring your own dirty mind.
I had a while where I was like, loaded dice. What are they talking about?
No, that just means gambling.
Drunk?
Yeah. But a lot of them are in there. We had to leave a few out just because for balance-wise to get everything to work. But you'll see a lot of familiar stuff in here, and it's all John Kovalik's art. It's right from the base game or an expansion or two kind of thing. So you will face many of your favorite foes.
That's fantastic. So how long is the gameplay?
About an hour.
About an hour coming up. How often does everybody backstab too much and everything collapses?
So far, that's been fairly frequent, I've noticed.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know, that backstabbing is a little bit, you know, reined in because you actually want to kill them yourself. So by virtue of gaining those points, you're protecting the tower.
Okay.
So someone has to get enough of a lead that they feel comfortable going after that tower.
So you start off working together.
Yeah. So that you're getting those points, you know. And then once you feel like you have a comfortable lead, that's when we see people like going out. You know, they're really trying to use that castle as a timer to end the game. You know. So
That's fantastic.
yeah.
How's being team game developers together?
How's that?
It was kind of by accident.
Yeah.
You know, Justin really started off developing. He was working on Castle Panic, and you know, he would come across problems, and I found them interesting, and so I started working with him on some of the problems. But he still was the game designer. I didn't, you know.
Yeah.
No.
And then, you know, the more he designed games, the more interested I got, the more involved I got, and we developed Bloodsuckers together. And then I decided I really want to just try this myself, and so that's when I came up with Bears. And I spent a couple of weekends just working on it myself. He didn't even know I was working on it.
Nope.
And then one Saturday I came to him, I said, you know, hey, I've got this idea. I think I have this game. And he played it. He was like, huh, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So,
This looks like it's going to be really good.
Yeah, well, while we were waiting for them, I was playing Bears a little bit, and every time I was like, oh, I'm gonna go for tents. And I was like, I think I ended the game at like 3 points. It was like, I really just shot myself in the foot over and over. It was like, but now I need to do it, so I have to go for this silly. Yeah, no, that was good.
Yeah, so now I've got the bug. So, but yeah, we are very collaborative.
Yeah.
You know, when we work on games, whether it's the game I started or a game he started, and we have different ways that we think about games.
Yeah.
And so it's really nice to kind of mash that together.
We both solve problems a little bit differently, but we also are it's easy to get the same goal. We know the kind of fun we want to make. Like, here's what we want for the end product. How do we get there? Sort of thing.
And we want this feel.
Yeah, exactly. And what helps and what doesn't. And it's really good. We use each other as sounding boards all the time. Like, I have this idea to make go this way, and one else will go, that's not fun at all, or that's too complicated.
So, do we get a lot of the cheaty, kind of like just doing stuff that you want to do feeling of Munchkin in this game? Or is it more meant to be played just kind of the way it's written out?
Oh no, in all of our games we always have alternate rules, and Munchkin Panic is no exception. We have less panic rules, more panic rules. We even have less Munchkin rules and more Munchkin rules.
Right.
So you can scale out, you know, how difficult it is, and you can scale how backstabbing it is.
Or ridiculous.
Or ridiculous.
Exactly, yeah.
Exactly.
And it's just a few rules changes, like this happens this way instead, or use this piece instead of this piece, or whatever. So they're really easy to do, but they're all in there. They're in the book. We love that. We love the idea of people saying, I like this game, but I'd like it more if I did this. You know what? Like the game more. Do it.
Exactly.
Are you having fun with it? We want you to.
Very cool. So this was Spencer Davis with NerdyRaptor, sitting down with Fireside Games, Anne-Marie and Justin from Fireside Games. Munchkin Panic will be coming out October 8th. Pre-orders are going online now, so you can get on there and find it. You have to wait a little bit if you're not already at GenCon.